First of the Sunday games then at the Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff at home to Chelsea. Cardiff desperate for a win to give them a chance of avoiding the drop and staying in the top flight. Chelsea once again playing catch up to Man United for that precious fourth place and Champions League football. Surprisingly, Chelsea were without Kante. No injury had been noted. Hazard was on the bench, but he did play for Belgium in midweek. So 11 minutes, an early effort from Pedro went over the bar. A minute later, Cardiff had a good chance after Murphy's cross just went astray. And then late on in the half, Chelsea had efforts for Willian, who sent his shot wide, and Alonso, who managed to side foot the ball again wide when it looked easier to put it on target. So we're at the break, goalless. It didn't take long for that to change. A minute in, and Camarasa opened the scoring, hitting a neat cross on the volley into the net after good work down the right. And then this Chelsea pressing desperately for the equaliser, and on 83 minutes they got it. Following a corner, the ball was headed on, and Azpilicueta in the 6-yard box with the second header put it past the Cardiff keeper. However, he looked clearly offside, but the referees apparently didn't see it, even though everyone else did. And Warnock was absolutely livid on the touchline. So they had got a lucky equaliser. It got worse then 2 minutes later for Cardiff, as on the break Zahora was outpacing Rudiger into the Chelsea half and was definitely heading for the penalty area when Rudiger pulled him down. He was clearly the last man, Zahora, but the referee again helped out Chelsea by only giving a yellow. This again got Warnock's fury up, who was going apoplectic on the sidelines. And would you bet on it? A minute to go, Loftus-Cheek popped up at the far post to head in from a corner, and Chelsea had snatched the win 2-1. As the players left the pitch, Warnock went onto the pitch to confront the officials, and it looked a stark picture as he was blurting out his message to the referee. But anyway, it ended Cardiff 1, Chelsea 2. So the top clash for the weekend then. Liverpool second, entertaining Spurs third. Now team news. First of all, Lallana was on the bench. Bit of a surprise because his recent appearances have been 5-star. Liverpool needing a victory to go back to the top. Matip was alongside Van Dijk, and Klopp selected both Henderson and Milner in midfield, which suggested a little bit of a cautious look at the Spurs' creativity in midfield. For Spurs, Pochettino was in the stands, touchline ban, and he selected Lucas Moura up front in place of Son, who just returned from international duty. Son was on the bench. A noisy, vociferous home crowd behind the Scousers, and they certainly took the bull by the horns and made the early running. But early chances, both teams were wide of the target. And then finally on 15 minutes, the extremely impressive Robertson got the ball down the left, and he delivered a peach of a cross. Firmino sneaked in between the two defenders and headed home. Lloris no chance, 1-0 to Liverpool. The fullbacks, Liverpool's fullbacks, continued to have acres of space and were really dominating the opportunities. Both Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jimmy Robertson, really the stars of the show in the first half. And they created a number of opportunities, but the strike force failed to hit the target. Salah and Mane twice hitting shots just wide. So we got to the break, Liverpool with the narrow advantage by 1-0. Second half, Spurs were much more into the game. Eriksen and Dele Alli much more on the ball, and it showed. 55 minutes, a Kane shot caused Alisson to punch it out, but Eriksen on the follow-up put the effort wide. It was end-to-end attacking stuff, great on the eye, but the defences were holding strong. Then on 70 minutes, foul on Kane just inside Liverpool's half, and Kane, quick thinking, hooked the ball out to the right with Trippier running onto it, and his deft pass went to Eriksen, who dribbled the ball onto Moura, who shot the ball wide of Alisson, and we were level, one each. Into the last quarter then, and Liverpool definitely had more of the chances, and late efforts from Ali and Son kept the Liverpool defence honest. And then we reached the final minute. A lofted cross to the far post, and at that far post was Salah. His best effort on target forced a sharp stay from Lloris, but unfortunately he punched the ball straight to Valderweireld, and it went in off him and into the net for an own goal. Liverpool were ecstatic. They'd snatched the victory and go back to the top of the table. Liverpool winning this one by 2-1. So to the final match, the Monday night match then. Arsenal at home to Newcastle. Aubameyang was sick, so he could only make the bench. Ramsey in, and Ozil and Iwobi was supporting Lacazette up front. Newcastle, well, they had their three-pronged attack to Perez, Rondon and Almoro, who'd unfortunately got a red card in the week for Paraguay on his debut. Anyway, into the action. Ramsey on 12 minutes finished off a neat corner, flicked on, but the referee ruled it out for pushing. 27 minutes, a half chance for Rondon, but he couldn't put it on target. And then 29 minutes, some good approach work from Lacazette, whose centre was met firmly by Ramsey, and that was the opening goal, 1-0 Gunners. Arsenal really in complete control going forward, but that final pass lacking. We got to the break then at 1-0 into the second half, and it was more of the same. Arsenal really on the front foot, very few opportunities for Newcastle at the other end. And then finally on 82 minutes, a gorgeous chip from Aubameyang, who'd been introduced from the bench, and Lacazette got his foot to the ball, clipped it over the goalie, and it hit the net, and delightful goal, 2-0, and the Gunners in the driving seat. They coasted to the finish. They could have had a third, but for a handball was denied by the referee. But a routine win for Arsenal. They're back up to fourth now. They took this game by 2-0. So that's that week 22 done and dusted. It's getting really tight at the top. The 3, 4, 5 and 6 are getting closer and closer following Spurs' defeat. Arsenal now in third. At the bottom, Huddersfield are relegated. Goal of the week. Well, I have got to admit that the goal by Lacazette was a gem. The second for Arsenal. So that's the one I've chosen. That's it. See you next week.